analyzing the game.
Game plan was great.
The players.
I would want him to be a runner like Mahomes.
The plays.
That is a massive, massive mistake.
And each
The more I
other.
think about it, the more I'm fine.
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and that's the ball game. Final score 10-2. The Braves run away with it. Red Sox go 1-5 on the homestand. They're now 9-19 at Fenway, heading to Cleveland to face a first-place team over the weekend.
Hey-o, welcome in. It's a Friday. A Finish Strong Friday.
Hell yeah.
On Zolak and Bertrand from our Town Fair Tire Studios at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Finish Strong Friday is always brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If you've ever left the house forgetting to turn off appliances or lights or adjust the temperature, you might be just like Scott Zolak.
Every day.
But you can now have control of all of that from the Smart Signal Home Automation app with 128. They can automate your home for you.
I burned a towel on a stove the other day.
So watch their latest video on social media at 128 to learn more. Have a happy Finish Strong Friday, everybody. Automate your home with 128. They take care of all that. So you just heard the final call of the Red Sox game yesterday. It was a 4:10 start at Fenway.
What did I tell you yesterday?
What did you tell me? What?
I told you yesterday, hey, let's put two of these together if we're not going to get all giddy and gung-ho over a nice little win that they had against the Braves. When the Braves came here for
Nobody was getting giddy and gung.
Oh, we see. Oh, I heard some of the stuff, some of the stuff on TV, and of course, it's the team TV part.
Well, I mean, please
turn the corner here a little bit. Let's get it going, baby.
Well, I can tell you what, on the team's broadcast on the radio yesterday, they were not pulling any punches.
Job, Lou.
They just no radio, not TV.
Oh, radio.
Yeah, Will I've never heard Will Middlebrooks go at the team the way he did.
He's
great.
had enough.
Yeah. He wasn't being a jerk or anything. It wasn't dramatic. It was
being
honest.
Reality sucks.
Yeah. Of that bullpen, of the managerial decisions and how that bullpen was managed yesterday. Bringing in Greg Weissert in a high leverage situation in a season that he has been really, really bad in stretches for this team. I mean, it's been a tough year. And
he walks in a run.
Ooh.
Free piece.
But I'm going to tell you the moment that I think the Red Sox were broken in 2026. The moment that if you had doubts about whether or not it was really done and this team had no shot, I think the moment that maybe just broke them for good was Weissert giving up the grand slam to Acuna.
There's a drive, high and deep. Back it goes. Grand slam. Felt like a matter of time with him. And Weissert gives up the bomb. Fourth career grand slam for Ronald Acuna Jr.
Good call, Dave.
Boom. I think that was it. I think that was the moment where you said this. They booed loudly at Fenway Park when that happened. I don't know what the attendance was yesterday. I can tell you in a moment.
4.
What the team is claiming it was.
Well, a lot of Braves fans there, too. Yeah,
there were. Attendance 30,901. So decent crowd for a day game in the end of May. And they booed loudly when that happened, when he gave that up, and it was a no-doubter. That was it. I think that was the moment where I'm like, this has to be setting in for this team. This has to be setting in for fans. They are toast. This team blows. This is bad. This is just a bad team in a lot of ways. And so I think that's it. Yesterday was it. I'm putting that as May 28th was the day the season died for the Red Sox, being at home, losing 5 of their last 6, losing is just in that dramatic fashion yesterday of giving up that bomb and then just eventually being blown out 10-2. They're dead. They're toast. This is now, I think, the point where you're like, all right, well, we're 2 months in. We're into June. Our team is terrible. They're now 23 and what are they? They got 23 wins. I know that. I can tell you. But Bad record at home, bad record overall, 23-32.
That's bad.
23-32.
Just straight up bad.
You lose 10-2.
They're a bad team.
And you get to cut core all those checks. Bottom right corner, him and all his assistants. So you get to keep writing those. Because that really fixed things. Did a really good job getting rid of that crew.
Whitlock to the IL yesterday.
Yep.
Roman Anthony fully revealing what his
Injury situation
is, which I think contradicts what Craig Breslow said.
Did he have no cards?
I mean, what the hell? And don't you kind of look at that and say Roman Anthony had to come out and tell everyone what he had because he thinks the team is not being straight with everybody.
Yeah, Sam Kennedy said there wasn't a tear. He's saying there is a tear.
What I tell you a week ago? With this kid?
What about him?
It's going to be a long time. Can't swing a wiffle ball bat. And all of a sudden, he can swing a bat now. It's just about discomfort. How much can he tolerate? He can't tolerate discomfort. That's probably bugging him pretty bad. Swinging a bat, that's a violent act. I'm sorry, it's a violent act. It's your core, it's your shoulders, it's your
especially
chest,
for the way he swings.
And then your wrist.
Yeah, but he's got a
It's like
tear.
golf.
He's got a tear in his ring finger.
Those heal in 15.
So I would say, well, wait a second. Is it the wrist or is it the finger or is it both?
It's the finger. It's the outside part of the hand. I said that last week. It's the outside part of the hand. And that's where the pain's coming from. So like you don't have a lot of meat here on your ring finger, on your pinky finger. Like there's not a lot of blood flow. That's just like all tendons. Believe me, I've had hand injuries. I've had pins put in my knuckles. I've seen Drew have pins put in the tip of his finger trying to rebuild things. It takes long because the blood flow's not there. There's not a ton of muscle. It's all tendons.
A ring finger CMC, carpometacarpal. How about that?
Sounds made.
Carpometacarpal.
We'll go with the CMC.
How about that? The carpometacarpal ligament injury involves connective tissue holding the base of the ring finger to the small bones all the way to your wrist. Sprains or tears, so it is sort of both. Sprains or tears cause pain, swelling, and reduced grip strength. Typically require rest, splinting, and physical therapy to heal.
21. He's 21. And he's getting these.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning.
Yeah. Ellsbury 2.0.
It didn't take long for him to become disgruntled, huh?
Is he?
I don't know if he's disgruntled. I think he wants to.
No, I think he is, but I think he's smart, and I think he didn't come off as, if you heard him, he did not come off as disgruntled at all, explaining it. He said, this is what it is. He said, for anyone who knows, a CMC injury, that's what I've got. I've got a tear. I mean, my guess is he's motivated to put it out there because he thinks the guys above him are just full of crap and aren't telling the truth.
Well, here's the thing as a player. You put that out. You put that out that, hey, he got a second opinion, and we looked at it, and he's clear. There's no breaks. There's no tears. There's nothing there. Now, what did they say all week? It's just about pain tolerance, pain management. He's like, then you hear shows like us, or you hear people writing about it. Oh, it's a toughness thing with him. How can he deal with the pain? Don't have to shoot it up. He's like, what are you talking about? I got a tear in my ligament. It feels like crap. Stop lying.
What does the
I do the same thing he did.
What does the front office have to gain by lying?
Because they're hearing it. They're hearing that the face of your franchise can't play because of a sore wrist.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's it, man.
I don't know. I mean, are they trying to sell hope? Is that what they're doing?
Yes,
they're like, oh, it's no big deal. We're going to,
Try to do a crochet. 15 days, he'll be back.
Yes, I think that's your answer right there.
They're trying to sell hope. They're trying to keep the fan base engaged with the team as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, we're good. Don't worry, he's coming back.
Are out. Crochet and Anthony out. Who do you want to go to the ballpark to see?
Garrett Whitlock to the injured list. A 10-2 loss to the Braves. Weissert gives up a bomb after sucking in that inning. That was it. That was the moment it died. I'm like, that's it. This team is cooked. I didn't think they had any chance anyway, but I thought that was a moment where people should look at them, and really now it should be universal. Everyone believes they've got no shot.
I think they have no shot, and I think that was the end for Craig Breslow. I think his time in Boston's over.
He's got
because of yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's just the final nail in the coffin in terms of this. Like you said, the season's over now. There is no like, hey, you know what? Small sample size. This team's going to turn it around, or hey, we're one big bat away from turning this thing around.
No,
it's
more than
over,
that.
Man.
You want to make a decision at the trade deadline. Do we sell or do we buy? Like, you want that guy to make the decision and whack him?
I think that's what the next question is what's the timing of this thing when it comes to Breslow?
Yeah, and on top of that, your best starter has been hurt and has been delayed in coming back. Your young star that you wanted to make the rock of your lineup has torn a ligament in his hand and is out far longer than you told us he would be. And then you didn't even tell us what was really going on. The player then told us what was going on. You had an embarrassing loss at home, 5 of the last 6. You're sinking like a stone in the standings. And you're what? What are you going to do now? What's his job now? Day to day. You're telling me there's something in the minors that could help them? No. You're telling me that there's a trade that they could make that's going to turn this around for them? No. None of that is true. It's a lost season and a lost cause at Fenway Park.
It's not June.
And it's not even June.
Not even June.
It's remarkable how fast this has happened.
We said at the beginning of the year, too. This is the future. The future is now. They're all up here.
There they are.
They're all available, right?
This is what it is. Yikes.
I heard
Marcelo Meyer's a bust, by the way. I'm sorry. I know that he's okay. He's a serviceable major league player. He is, and I say bust for this reason. He's not what he was sold to you as when he was drafted. When he was drafted, as high as he was, it was
top 5 pick.
This guy's a star in the making. He'll be an absolute stud. Look out, Xander Bogaerts. Was that not the conversation the day he was drafted? Watch for the meteoric rise. He's going to be a huge impact player. He's not. He's fine.
Fine.
He's fine. He's a major league player, but not a particular
franchise changer.
No, not a cornerstone piece of your franchise.
Fair or not, too, Roman Anthony is not what he was sold to be.
Not yet. Still holds out hope.
There's still hope for that one. The other two, Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer, I think are two different conversations than Roman Anthony.
Yeah, I don't think that those guys are anything you should count on for the future.
Yeah, because at least Roman Anthony can be a piece.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if Roman Anthony is...
if he's not the face of the franchise, if he's not...
constantly hurt, right? If he's always hurt and he's always dealing with this stuff, he could still be a good player.
Yes, we've seen it.
And the contract they gave him, if you average out the 130, right? Let's say he hits no escalators, it's 130 over 8 years. You're looking at like $16 million a year. That's not exactly extending yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he's ever going to become an albatross. Like, it's not going to be this bloated, crazy contract on your books that you got to work around. But it's still not what you thought you had to this point. What a bummer. That was brutal yesterday.
At least you have Weiser, right?
Yeah.
He's allowed 12 of 21 inherited runners to score so far this year.
Yeah.
12 of 21.
I know.
That's bad.
That's why, I mean, these runs are getting charged to other guys, but it's like, he's bad. If you've watched him, he's having a tough go of it.
Oh.
And Chad Tracy blows too, by the way. I mean, you've got to go to somebody else there. Go to Slayton there. Go to some other.
Anybody.
You got to go now. You can't go to Weissert there. You know that he sucked. You can't put him in the ball game there. They do it, and he blows it. Can't do that.
But the numbers told him to do that.
On a day when Whitlock is going to the IL prior to the game, like tough. What?
And now today, you have to use an opener because your starter's a head case and can't actually start games, too. So you got that going for you, right?
Against the break.
We have.
Against the break.
Like, what are we doing?
He was another one. He was another one of the top
Brian
prospects
Bale,
that they made sure to sign to a deal.
Now he can't start.
I mean, what would they do? What would they do if they had just let Brian Bayo go to arbitration and play it out and, just continue to be under team control? That would have been terrible for them, right?
Gotta lock that guy up.
Got to make sure you lock that guy up. Got to make sure you lock up Christian Campbell. You got to make sure you lock up Roman Anthony. Like, all these guys that you look at and you're like, God, what was the point of all this?
The good news is Tristan Cassis wouldn't play ball with you, right? Because he'd be locked up, too.
Oh,
You'd have him in the mix.
That's right. He didn't want to do it. Bad day.
Good leadership there, showing how young kids to push through injuries. Casas. Nice.
He can't push through the one he's doing. What are you talking about?
What a mess, man.
I understand that one.
What a mess.
He blew the knee out. I'm talking about all the other crap. Sore back, sore ribs.
All right, let's do this. Let's come up with the list of players that the Red Sox should sell off. I think it's long.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've got good pieces to move.
Should we just do the list they shouldn't sell off?
Let's do it that way. It's a better way. We'll do both. We'll do the protected and unprotected. We'll go through all of it with your calls. It's a finish strong Friday. You're on Zolak and Bertrand. Tough loss for the Red Sox yesterday, and a tough day for the franchise.
Yeah.
Things keep getting worse on that front. We'll pick that up on the other side. Stick around.
Nice.
While you're working, so are they. If you can call sitting around talking about sports work.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
I think there's some obvious older guys on the team that you could probably get a lot for. Chapman is the big name there because he, has been so good, and teams always want relievers at the deadline. The downside there is you would potentially have, control over him with that vesting option for next year. Gray is a straight up free agent, so he's a guy that definitely would be on the move in that scenario. And then I think you get, into the how much do you want to punt? Do you want to just punt on the rest of the season, or do you want to take away from your team in 2027? That's where the Contreras decision is an interesting one. It's not like they have a first base prospect that they're waiting on there, and you can't trust Casas at this point. Obviously, Contreras is under control for 2 years after this one. People think it's 1, but there's a team option there too, so that's a big deal. And then it kind of, where's the value? You're probably at that point better off holding on to, unless he gets really hot, Duran until, the offseason maybe, especially if, there's an outfielder hurt or something like that. You're not going to trade, obviously, Ranger Suarez in year 1. You're not going to trade Crochet. You're not going to trade Early or Tolle in a scenario like that. So, maybe Whitlock. I don't know.
I am not trading Whitlock. That's a no-go for me.
Especially if you trade Chapman.
Yeah, it's Chris Cotillo. Mass Live, talking about potential guys to trade on this roster, even without that. I mean, with or without trading Chapman, I'm not trading Whitlock. No, I'm not doing that. Chapman, I would. Chapman, to me, is maybe their most valuable asset for a deadline type of move.
What if you get a good right bat, though, for Whitlock?
No, I'm not doing that. Okay. Because I don't think that's bringing that back. No. Chapman is a yes. Whitlock is a no. Whitlock stays. Chapman goes on my list. What about you?
I would deal both.
I would deal both.
I would not deal Chapman. It's like one of the few names you have. One of the few stars. Like that. I know he's not stars. This day has passed, but he's big. He's athletic. You like watching him pitch. I really don't care about everybody else.
He's 38 years old.
I know.
38-year-old. I was as great as he was last year. They signed him back, and I immediately thought there's no way he could replicate that. There's just no shot that he's going to replicate what he did a year ago. And now he's not, because the team isn't as good. Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, what's the point of a closer when you are not in need of someone to close games?
Just in case somehow by miracle,
you know what I mean?
You get into this thing. That's all.
They're not. There is no miracle.
Okay, good.
This is about selling.
Glad we're there.
This is about selling off the parts. Wilson Contreras is maybe the toughest one to talk about. He's a first baseman. He's a bat. He feels a need for them now and in the future. But I also think he would be worth a lot in a deal.
Keyword future. So that's why you wouldn't move him. So what if you lose him this year? But if you really like this guy and he's going to be part of your future, you keep him and you don't touch him.
I don't love him. I think he's a bit of a jackass, but
kind of like the only guy he got.
I'm overlooking any of those concerns, saying he's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's their best bat right now. He's been their most consistent bat, and he plays a good first base.
And what if you did what you were supposed to do this offseason? You added a couple extra bats, and now all of a sudden he's your third or fourth best hitter in this lineup? Doesn't that look totally different?
Yeah, that's why I'm hesitant to trade him. And I was not fully aware that it was 2 more years of team control. Fully admit that, Cotillo. I admit. So I'm probably keeping Whitlock and Contreras, but I am trading Chapman. Who else?
Sonny Gray's automatic, like Cotillo said.
Yeah, Sonny Gray's an easy one. No debate there.
There's a mutual option there, I believe.
What about Bayo?
Gone.
Big,
yep.
Good answer.
Gone. Gray, Chapman, Bayo, all on my have at it. Trade him away. Jarren Duran, as you know, I've been begging for a trade of Jarren Duran. And I think all of these guys have some value. I don't think they're the only guy that I think is a spare part that's a problem is Yoshida.
Yeah.
Who's trading for that?
Right.
What's he at, 20 per?
I think it's 19, I want to say. So I think you're right around there.
Right around 20, yeah. Hell no. Problem is you don't really have anybody wants.
Well, you do.
You got the pitchers. Do you want to get rid of two of your
teams would want Sonny Gray. Teams would want Chapman. Teams would want Bayo. And teams would want Duran. I think those 4 guys are all, again, what it could net you in a deal is different for each player. But I think your best trade candidates on the list that we all agree should move is probably Chapman.
The haul that you could potentially get for him, I think, is significant, especially when you consider, we've talked about this, for as bad as the Red Sox have been, you can still convince yourself that they're in it with the wild card, right? So how many sellers are there actually going to be at the deadline? If you're aggressive in terms of putting out the for sale sign on your roster, I do think that you're going to be able to have some options, just because I don't know how many sellers there actually are in this market with the way the postseason's lined up now.
The club options on Whitlock, by the way, the next 2 years are 8.25 and 10.5. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Club options. So he's got 2 more years under team control. So I'm not moving him. He's got 2 years. Those are, Whitlock and Contreras, 2 guys that are going to help you whenever this lockout is over. Whenever they get back to baseball, those 2 pieces are going to be, let's say there's no baseball in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
You get to 2028, and you get to the other side of this. I think Contreras and Whitlock are still, even 2 years older, are still helping your team.
All right, so you're not.
Should we be looking at those guys, by the way, who are up after 27?
No, because here's what I think is going to happen. Everything's going to toll. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be like everyone's going to have to add a year for the lost year is what I think will go on. It'll be like everybody's contracts are on pause when it's all settled. It's my guess. I don't know that. That's just an assumption right now.
That would make the most sense. That's the way I think you would have to do it. Let me ask you this question, though. So you're saying that you don't want to trade those guys. Who are you hanging up the phone on, though? What players on the roster?
Nobody. I mean,
Tolley, Early, Anthony.
I don't want to trade Whitlock or Contreras, but if there's a deal,
a Godfather offer,
that
right?
You can't refuse. Then you can't refuse. Now, if you're talking about young players, I'm not trading Roman Anthony.
I'm not trading Roman Anthony. Tolley and Early too have just been. Those to me are like the future of your franchise.
That is possibly the core of the future. So no, I wouldn't want to move either of those guys.
How about Garrett Crochet?
No, I'm not doing that. No. That's your ace.
Best thing you have is pitching.
I'm not moving him. Nope. They were right to trade for him. They were right to extend him. No, I'm not moving him. He's off limits.
What's he coming back?
Because here's the thing. You got to remember, any team that calls and wants to trade for Garrett Crochet is going to want to turn around and trade you prospects.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to want to trade you major league talent.
Right.
Any team that calls on Roman Anthony, and that's probably not the best one. Let's pick another young player that you just named. Marcelo Meyer, if that's the case.
So that's a young player I would do.
What do they want to give back? They want to give back major league talent.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not in the timeline of looking and shopping for major league talent. Right? And you should not want to be in a position where you have controlled, under contract, long-term commitments to a great player like Crochet that you then flip for prospects. If you're flipping Chapman for prospects, that makes sense.
Yes.
That to me is like, okay, you're cashing in a chip here at the end. He's nearing the end of his career and his deal, and you can move him and maybe get something that's of real value in a few years. That makes sense to me if you're trading Sonny Gray or Chapman or Bayo. It doesn't if you're trading a guy who's a legit major leaguer under contract and for the future.
Yeah.
What if there's a salary?
Like, why would you want to trade Garrett Whitlock or Wilson Contreras for prospects? It's stupid.
What if there's a cap they have to get under?
What do you think that cap's going to be?
Or if there's going to be a cap, too,
based on the first offer, it would have been something like...
I know, but that's an extreme.
$30 million that they had to shed.
There's going to be a mechanism for teams to be able to operate if they're going to implement this overnight. There's going to be a way to do it.
Existing contract?
Yeah, there's going to be a way to have existing deals not count against it or something along those lines. I would not all of a sudden be like, oh, they're well over the cap, because you have teams that are spending more than the Red Sox.
Well, the Dodgers and Mets.
How would they shed all of these salaries or move them on other teams? Yeah, it's just there's going to be a way to get around it. What they really need to also do is close that Dodgers loophole as part of this too.
The deal, deferred money.
Yeah, the deal that Major League Baseball made with the Dodgers. That thing needs to come to an end.
It's not fair. Not fair.
I can't believe they ever really did that in the first place, and that we didn't really know about it until years later when they started to abuse it. Who knew? Here are your headlines. We'll get to your calls on the Sox right after this.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Zolak and who?
On the Sports Hub.
I talked to two of the interns in the afternoon. They go, is it always like this?
Stiff? Is that what they meant?
Aurora. Mr. Zolak.
Her personality does not suit that program. It suits ours.
She belongs on our show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trade him Carlton.
They put Aurora on the wrong show.
Yeah. She's like, you guys have a good show. Like, what's
she'd come in and sit down and
Mr.
spend.
Zolak,
no doubt. Yeah. Everyone else could just turn off their mics.
Talk about anything.
Yep.
Mr. Zolak, how you doing? Shakes my hand. I'm like, whoa.
Proactive.
Now you got my attention. Yep. She's like, what's the big topic today? I said, a little bit of everything. She goes, yeah, but you mix everything. Like, it's not just like 4 hours of sports.
It's a melting pot. Yep.
I said, this is your radio.
Just start that.
This kid gets it.
I said, there's a chair right there. Just sit down and listen. Yeah. She's in awe of our show.
She's on the wrong. She got cast wrong. Is what it comes down to.
Many people are in awe of our show.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Take it as a compliment.
I do.
Cut that one up, Louth.
Let's grab your calls. Dan's in Boston. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys. Love to talk about Breslow potentially being, final nail in his coffin. My big question is, this franchise, from a directional standpoint, has taken huge pendulum swings, whether it's Dombrowski, selling off parts and going major league talent, prioritizing, or Chaim Bloom, Breslow, whoever you want to name it. The pendulum is swinging huge, whether it's analytics and whatever. My question is, if Breslow's out of town, if he's gone, are we going to expect another huge pendulum swing in the opposite direction? Is this analytics department going to get fired out just like Breslow, and we're just going to go the complete opposite way? I'd like to see the team go a little bit more to the middle. Smaller swings is usually better for the whole organization. I wanted to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the case. I hope they have another big swing and they go for someone who values major league talent. But more than that, understands which prospects are junk and which ones to move on from, which is something that you go back to the Dombrowski days. He knew what he was doing on that front.
Nobody better at it.
And since then, Breslow's trades have been, for the most part, lopsided and bad. Yeah. They move on from guys that go on to have success elsewhere. They do. By the way, I think Devers has 5 home runs this week. Does he have 5 home runs just this week?
I know he's been red hot
he couldn't hit
on
anymore, they said.
I thought he was toast.
I thought he was available for a trade.
Yeah. To which I said, just relax yourself. He'll come around.
It was about this time last year.
I mean, look, I could get that for you. He's been crushing it. I know he's been hot. Maybe it was last week. He's been hitting dingers. He's got 7 home runs in the month of May. That's what I saw. So he had 5 in the month of May. Now he's got 7.
Gotcha.
7 home runs in the month of May, it appears.
That's pretty good.
I think I have that right. Maybe it's, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5. It's 5 since the 6th of May. He's been heating up, though. He's still only batting .242, though, which is low for him. He needs to get that up. He needs to get going a little better. It had a tough start. But I'm not even talking about that one. I'm talking about like the lower level deals that he's made. He does not know which guys to dump and which guys to keep. And he thought Christian Campbell was going to turn the whole freaking team around last year.
That didn't happen.
And bragged about it. How great he was going to be. David's in a Acushnet. Hi, David.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? Last night, I'm at the game. I walk into Cask and Flagon. Swear to God, there's a guy with a Weiser Team Italy shirt on.
Oh, boy.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
boy.
Okay, what's that all about? Question.
Cousin?
Would you do
Was he eating spaghetti?
Roman Anthony would you do Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Bayo, prospects for Bobby Witt Jr.?
Wait, I have to give up. Give me is Roman Anthony in there? You just named?
Yes.
Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, Bayo for Bobby Witt Jr.
All right, so it's really, would you do it? Forget the other guys; those guys are throwaways. It's really, would you trade Roman Anthony for Bobby Witt Jr.?
Kansas City's cheap. Roman Anthony's controlled, always hurt. If the Sox keep him, they got to give him a first baseman's mitt. Can't play outfield.
Okay. Damn. Ultimately, he is gonna get moved. By the way, this stupid team. He's apparently not thrilled to be there either. Ultimately, I think you've got to say yes to that. Bobby Witt's only, 26 years old?
He's 25 right now.
25.
Turns 26 June 14th.
Okay.
How much has he been hurt?
He is not. He plays. What's his? He didn't sign a new contract, so you'd be getting Bobby Witt and then needing to sign him to a new contract, and you'd be moving Anthony, and they take on his full contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd do that. I think I would. Bobby Witt's a proven piece.
Yeah, Anthony's becoming touchable.
The thing about Anthony, though, is it's so tempting to say no to all of that is the ceiling. The ceiling for him is just, you think it could be so high, but the ceiling on Bobby Witt's pretty damn good too. He's a 20 home run, automatic 20 home run guy every year.
So he'd signed an 11-year, $288 million deal.
Witt did already?
He's going to be signed through 2030, and then he has a player opt-out in 2031. So,
dude, that's a slam dunk.
After this year, you'd have him in 27 for $20 million, then 31, 36, 36, and then he can opt out.
Done. Yep. I would do that then. I didn't know that. I didn't even realize that.
Bobby Witt Sr., Canton High School.
Even more reason.
The homecoming for the Wits.
John is in Franklin. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday. I feel like I need an hour on a therapist couch to talk about the Red Sox. But anyway, yeah. All right. Beetle, so I got to disagree with you as far as guys that are, like, untradeable. Listen, this whole roster, in my opinion, should be on the table. Literally nobody should be untouchable. And honestly, like, guys like Roman Anthony, I want to talk about Roman Anthony real quick. If you like, frustrating isn't even a strong enough word to describe this guy. Forget about the fact he's always injured if he sneezes the wrong way. Like, I want to talk about this guy and his expectations. He's never going to be, I don't think, ever going to be a power guy. We thought he was going to be a 35 to 40 home run power guy. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And honestly, they need to start, you said it, Beetle, they need to know when to cut bait with some of these prospects to get bigger names. And that's what I want to see them do, because Breslow's going to be fired. We know that. So whoever comes in, I want to see them take big swings to get some players in here, because honestly, I want...
Okay, your phone cut out, but I think your point stands, and I understand it. Nobody should be untouchable. I don't disagree with that. I just put the Contreras and Whitlocks on a list of, if you're going to trade those guys, you got to make sure it makes sense in a trade. And I just have a hard time believing there's going to be a deal that comes along that makes a lot of sense for them, that doesn't involve a lot of risk of young, unproven pieces. And I don't trust the current guys in that front office to figure out which pieces they should be acquiring.
I mean, that's the real question.
That's kind of it. There's no one that would get traded on this team that I'd be like, oh my God, why did you do that? But there are guys that I look at and say, well, that's not going to make a lot of sense to move them. It's not because I'm in love with them and I think it derails the team if they move them. It's just like, I don't know that there's a good, smart deal for those types of players.
It's a fair concern. And can you identify, if Breslow's the one running it, can you identify? Yeah. Cotillo in that podcast said, too, the timing typically has been Dombrowski was let go post-deadline. Charrington let go post-deadline as well.
Yep.
So... is Breslow here through that deadline, and then they're going to transition it? I mean, that's another question you have.
We'll actually play that. You'll hear that part that Cotillo had from his podcast coming up on the other side. Salary cap, salary floor. We mentioned that in passing this hour already. The players' union in baseball is starting to respond, and the battle between baseball and its players is now just sort of getting underway. It could get messy in the coming months. That's all coming up. Stick around.
Nothing happens in Boston sports
What's he doing?
you won't find out about here.
Blowing on the nozzle.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Thought it was clogged.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
If things do continue to get rough here, do you think there is maybe even a decent chance of them maybe turning the keys over to someone else in the front office to maybe handle the trade deadline?
It's such a tough decision to make. I mean, they've fired Dombrowski and Heim kind of on the same timeline where those moves were in September. You know, when Dombrowski took over for Charrington, that was after the deadline as well. So they don't have a history of doing that. But that being said, they don't have a history of firing a manager in April either, and they just kind of pulled that lever. So I think these next 4 or 5 weeks are very important for the organization and a lot of people in it in a variety of ways. I think what's tough for the Red Sox, adding to the long list, the schedule is very difficult too. And obviously they could, after the Braves, Cleveland over the weekend, they have 3 divisional opponents then with Baltimore, the Yankees, and Tampa. Texas, when they get back, is a very talented team. I mean, it's not going to get much easier. Obviously, the reinforcements are going to help in the form of Anthony and Crochet in the next couple of weeks. But, these are kind of make or break weeks and make or break months in terms of the direction of the organization.
That's the funny part. Oh, you people. Beetle had it, though. Like, he thinks this is it. This is the one that broke him. I think it's the series that he just described. Those next 3 or 4 series. That's your nail in the coffin. And I'm not saying you have to win every series. Be representable. You know what I mean? That's the meat of that's your meat right there. That's what you go up against. That's the big ones. That's who you're fighting with. I think you got about 2 weeks left in the season. Get through that, see how you are, and then make the decision. I'm not for firing people in season. I don't like that. I appreciate that they waited on Heim, waited on Dombrowski. Because really, who do you want to take over for what this guy's doing? How do you think he's going to do? He's going to follow the orders of this guy or the same type of plan that he has. He stripped you of all your really, really good superstar talent. Those guys are gone. Devers, Bregman. He had them both here in 6 months. They're both gone. And you're hoping your other 2 stars will be back. You don't know that.
I mean, I think in theory, you look at the situation, you say the guy's cooked, he's done. There's no way you could bring him back. But then you listen to Theo on that podcast that he was on 2 weeks ago saying, well, I've done a good job with pitching and defense, which felt like a bit of an endorsement,
I think,
of Breslow.
Yeah, but Mayo's here, or Bills last year, they had a top 5 defense. That was good.
So we'll see where they go.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball with the possibility of a salary cap moving forward. Initial proposals being swapped. MLB making their offer. And they're proposing a salary cap system, making it their first sort of attempt at doing this in a very long time.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
But
I don't blame them for coming in and taking a shot. Like, you're going to have to go to one extreme, and then the players are going to counter with an extreme. And this thing's going to take forever.
I got the numbers. It would set a hard cap of $245.3 million.
It's kind of where you've been spending.
And a hard floor of $171.2 million.
I like that. I like the floor.
Aiming to, it's a pretty high number.
Tough on Pittsburgh,
aiming
tough on Tampa.
To basically make, more disparity in the sport, make teams spend, make payrolls go up. It also calls for a revenue split between players and the league at 50-50. It also wants to pool all television revenue. That's not great for Boston.
I feel like that's going to be a non-starter for a lot of these big clubs. If you're the Yankees, the Red Sox, or the Dodgers, why am I agreeing to split my TV revenue with the A's? I mean, to me, that's not going to happen. There's going to be clubs that push back on that. Your bigger markets. NESN isn't the cash cow that it once was because people are cutting the cord, but it still prints money in a way that, again, these other franchises can't. That Spectrum deal for the Dodgers, that $1 billion deal that they signed out in L.A., I'm now going to cut that up and give you a share of it? Kansas City? No shot.
No.
Yeah, why do you get that? Right? So we'll see where this goes, but it's starting here, and you're starting to see that, well, they're not going to agree on very much.
There are 6 teams below 100 million.
I know. What did you say, 175?
171.
171?
Change.
So there's 15 teams right now that are above that.
So the rest of the league would have to come up to that number?
Yes.
In essence, you're making the league spend more because there's not a lot of guys that go over. There's not a lot of teams that go over the 240.
MLBPA. I'm sorry, Zoe. Go ahead. No, finish.
But it's not like there's half the league going up over 240 or whatever the hell the top cap is, whatever top cap number that will be. What you're trying to do is get everybody in the bottom spend up to your
get
floor,
up,
spend up to the league floor. So in essence, they're not trying to squeeze you; they're trying to actually make you spend.
The union, on the other hand, wants a competitive integrity tax that go against teams that don't spend on payroll. So you don't spend, you get taxed. You don't get to just gobble up revenue sharing money and keep it for yourself.
Like the opposite of a luxury tax.
Right. It's like the reverse luxury tax. Isn't that great? I'd love that.
That's a good penalty.
Right, so they want
idea.
you put in a floor without a cap is essentially what they're looking
Tampa
for.
Bay, F you. You're not paying? Yep. Well, guess what? You are. They want to increase the minimum salary in baseball from $780,000 a year to $1.5 million.
Oh, that's a double.
Yeah. It is too low.
I'm with you. 784. That's not a lot.
That's not for the kind of money this sport makes. Any player that's in the majors, I understand the desire to say this is what it should be. Right. They do want to increase the bottom CBT threshold to go from 244 up to 300 million. The first CBT level. They want to boost that baby. They also want increased revenue sharing of local TV money. So that might be something that enough owners agree on. Not Boston, not New York, not LA, but there are enough Kansas Cities and Tampa Bays and name whatever team you want. Seattle. What are the others?
Right.
Detroit. That might say, yeah, we want to dip into their money. We want to dip into their local TV money.
So I'm sure the thought process there is that these big markets are going to spend regardless and give more cash to these smaller markets that then are going to spend a little bit more as well. I don't think the big time franchises, you're going to run into roadblocks with those teams that have those big deals or own their own stations.
I mean, some have been basically kicked off TV. Was it the Orioles? No. Who am I thinking of?
There's been a few. I know, was it the Diamondbacks, I think, were one of them? I thought the Nationals might have run into something.
Yeah, Nationals. That's what I'm thinking of. That lost when Bally went under.
Yes.
When all of that happened. And a bunch of teams had terminated.
I think the Rockies might be another one.
It terminated their deals. Brewers, I think, were one. They lost their TV deal temporarily. Major League Baseball took over the broadcast of some teams. Isn't that right? I mean, if you think about it, at what point is that just headed for a MLB.TV for everybody? Where the regional sports
it's not as
element
big of a
in
stretch
baseball
as it used to be.
No, it isn't. It's not. I mean, they still leave it up to the individual teams to sell their local rights the same way it is in the NHL and the NBA. The NFL, they don't have that problem. The league handles all of their TV. You wonder if other leagues are going to adopt that type of model and say, you know what, we're now in charge of all the TV rights and it's all digital and this is how you can find it. This is how you can stream our games. This is how much it costs per season. We're not taking carriage fees anymore. We're taking $180 from you right now for the year. It's going to get real expensive to watch sports in the future. I'm telling you, it's coming. It is coming. Let's get to headlines. We'll be right back in 90 seconds.